This is part 2 of the Bobbi Brown interview.
What are you changing?
My lifestyle.
Right.
My way,
Bingo.
my ways of living. I can only teach by example. And that was the one thing that I saw growing up in my household. I saw drug use. I saw robbery, death, and killings and things like that. I thought it was cool to smoke a joint and drink a pint of Hennessy and feel good at that time because that's what I saw. That's all that I saw.
See, we're going to see down the line how Bobbi got to this, but that's that power that you have. That trauma, the trauma brain never wants you to get to. Can't focus on what everybody else is doing, how everybody else treated you or is treating you. You can't focus on anything out there that isn't directly in your control. Because as long as you're focusing out there, you're not empowering yourself. As long as you focus out there, you're never going to make a difference. But when you focus where you have control, which is in your own circle of control, your own self, your own perspective, the way you see the world, working through your pain so that you can become even more powerful. All of that is where you can control. So that's really good. You notice that Gammy was really nodding all through this. Her sponsor came out. Now in AA, you go to these meetings, yes, but you're supposed to connect with a mentor or a sponsor, somebody who's been clean for much longer than you have, and who can help to come alongside you and be your truthful, trusted other. And she just kept coming from a sponsored position the whole time. This is just good stuff.
I got second, third, and fourth chances at life, and I'm still here. There's something that God wants me to do. Mm-hmm. I just ain't done it yet. I'm just waiting to do it.
See? Mm-hmm. You haven't done it yet. I've seen your destiny, Bobbi. I've seen it. And yes, you can sit in the car where somebody's standing right at point blank range, shooting up the guy behind the wheel, and it never touches you. Because why? The angel was in that car protecting you. This one's gonna do what I called him to do. Yes, indeedy. I'm glad you see that, Bobbi.
Tell me the greatest asset that your wife, Alicia, has been for you.
She was a friend before we became lovers. That's what I really love about our relationship. And I think she helped me see the good in me that I forgot about. All I thought about was everything that I had done in my past.
Yeah,
And if I kept living in the past about what I had done, in my previous relationships, I couldn't see the sunshine from where I was standing.
That's interesting.
But now I'm able to deal with everything that I had in my past and look forward to the future, knowing that I have somebody standing strong, and no matter what, she's there.
Wow. Okay, y'all, I'm going to try to do this without blubbering like I did earlier. But the truth of the matter is, this is a powerful thing that happened in Bobbi's life. This woman who was a friend, she was at his wedding. She the one that talked him out of the cold feet that he had. Told the man, that's just cold feet. Go ahead and get married as long as you're happy. Right? And then they lost touch. And then after he and Whitney broke up, then they crossed paths again. There are no coincidences, you guys. There are no coincidences. And when she came back in his life, she agreed to be his manager, but she said it wasn't going to be no hanky-panky. She was denying her feelings for him. Well, eventually, then they started with the hanky-panky, and they became a relationship. She had a couple kids, then he married her. Okay? This is what I want you guys to see. And I'm going to do a reaction video to Curtis Martin's speech when he got into the Hall of Fame, because I really want to show you guys another example of this. Now, Bobbi was so twisted out of who he truly is. She saw Bobbi the way God created Bobbi, okay? And she saw that Bobbi had never seen. So she fell in love with the Bobby that God created, even in the middle of all of the chaos that was his life. And she stuck with him. But get this, he was in no position to maintain a healthy relationship when they got together. But he stuck in there. See, that's the thing. I really want all of us to be able to heal to the point where we can maintain a healthy relationship when that perfect person comes across our path. And I say perfect because nobody's perfect. I got that. But my mother taught me growing up. She said, Linda, there's one man that God has made for you. There's one man out there that God created just for you. And I kind of blew that. Married twice. Read the book. So anyway, the fact that she loved him past his pain, isn't that what all of us would like? But yeah, okay, in our heads we want that, but we're so busy protecting ourselves and running from the pain that we wouldn't be able to probably even see that person if they crossed our path, and we'd probably piss them off to the point where they didn't want to be bothered our behind. But this woman didn't have any other. She didn't have no false views of this man. She knew that he had, given up drugs, but you're behind drinking too much. And she had loved him past all that pain. Let's go on, because I want you to hear what she's going to eventually have to say.
What has been the thing that you have wanted to offer to him?
Unconditional love. But really, a reality check. He had a lot of yes people.
Got it. You would go,
I'm not that one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very direct when something is out of place and definitely red flags. I just want to be transparent and honest with him.
That's a lot of love. See there? Okay, you guys have got to go back. I'll try to, at the end, where the end screen comes in, I'll try to highlight those videos. But she was Bobby's truthful, trusted other who loved him unconditionally. Unconditionally. I love you. I see all your flaws. I ain't putting up with that crap. Okay? You're going to have to step to the man that I see in you. And he has, apparently. Now, this drinking thing wasn't no easy win, but let's go on and see what else she had to say.
what about your relationship with Bobbi Christina?
It was very difficult since she had lost her mother to get close to her. She's hiding. She's trying as much not to have us see that. And Bobbi meant the world to her, so she, in her father's eyes, always wanted to seem like she was together. She was dealing with this grief that was taking over her life. She was not being herself in any facet, and she was lost without her mother. Naturally, there's this grieving time that you need, and you need to be surrounded by healing and help.
Yep, wound up with that food. Okay, Linda, don't do this. I'm going to try. I ain't even going to ask forgiveness for that. Okay? Bless her precious heart. I'm not even blaming her. But she was lost. In swoops this narcissistic fool that she grew up with. I won't even say his name. And she's in the throes of his controlling behind the whole time. She's never even had the chance to fully grieve her mother's death. And so when we get in these domestic situations where there's domestic abuse, whether it's just physical, whether it's physical and emotional or just emotional, whichever kind of abuse it is, there's always control on issues on the part of the perpetrator, right? So you get into that situation, and so now you hiding. It's the shame thing again, right? Y'all can relate to this. It's the shame thing again. She doesn't want her folks to know that this man is beating up on her. So she's hiding away and not wanting to go around him. You guys, that's one sign. If you have a friend that's going through that mess, one of the things that the controller and the perpetrator will do is to try to wrest control over you. In other words, try to make sure that they cut you off from anybody that's going to love you like Bobby's wife loves him. Cut you off from anybody that's going to tell you truth like Bobby's wife does him. Anybody that's going to love you unconditionally, just like Bobby's wife does. Highly intelligent woman. She came in, got his finances together, started getting him gigs and everything. The whole time he's still drinking now. And they still trying to deal with that. But he talks in a minute about what brought him to a point where he stopped drinking. We all need that truthful, trusted other that they're going to tell you truth. You ain't going to like it. You ain't going to want to hear it. But the thing about a good, truthful, trusted other is that they don't give a rip about your blowback. I'm just saying. I'm trying to tell you, Linda, you fixing to make a big mistake. Now, my free will is still in play. This truthful, trusted other will give us truth. The reason why they're so valuable, like his wife is because whether you like it or not, you know that this person has your best interests at heart. And you know that they're telling you truth. And you know that the fact that you don't want to hear it got nothing to do with the price of beans in Asia. They are your truthful, trusted other. So you need to really consider and make a good choice based on the feedback you're getting from them. Let's go on.
When you look at it all, what do you think it takes to break the generational cycles that you guys are breaking together?
Yeah, we're a work in progress. Before therapy, we both had our own way of communicating.
Yeah.
And we didn't often understand each other's language. And that issue just bled and spread. That's when we were like, oh, no, we need some help here, right? We often need to learn how to listen, which was a big thing on my part.
And I had to work on how to communicate what I was feeling to her and to anybody else that was around me. I would hold in my feelings on how I would deal with the pressures of losing a child. Not wanting to speak, holding it in, made me go in a corner and hide and drink. Thank God that I had someone like my wife to sit and wait for me, to get that knowledge and gain that power to express myself.
See, this is the takeaway from that little segment. It is a process. A process. And when you can have somebody who loves you unconditionally, who is willing to be patient with you through that process, you embrace that and thank God for it every day you wake up, because that is a blessing from above. This woman has stuck it out with him because she loved him, but she also had her boundaries drawn with this joker. Okay? These things are not going to stand here. Now, he had a choice. He could step to that or step it off, one of the two. But it was always his choice. Thank God there was something in him that connected with his wife enough to know that she truly loved him. Because you notice she said earlier, he was surrounded with a bunch of yes men. That's what we do. I ain't mad at Bobby. Please, I cut myself off from everybody, so I didn't need to listen to no yes men or no truthful, trusted others, which did not serve me well, I must say. Okay? But he stepped to the boundaries that she had for him, but she did it in love, and not only love for him, but love for herself. He is blessed. I think the world of this woman.
I believed in him, I still believe in him, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy waiting, but you do have to trust the journey.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I trust in that.
Yeah.
Amen. She summed it up. It's a process. And look, you guys, this is the thing I want you, even in the church. First of all, understand that your pastor is not a mental health professional generally. Maybe he is, but that's very rare. Understand that you need to address the past trauma, not only from a spiritual position, but you need to address it from a position of sound behavioral science. And if you are in a church that tells you that it is the devil, or it's wrong, or you aren't having enough faith because you're still struggling with some trauma issues, and telling you that that's wrong for you to go to a therapist any dadgum way, okay? Because the truth of the matter is that a prayer line is not going to cut it to free us from years of pain. It's not going to be good enough just to go through a prayer line to free us from the work we need to do to heal and process the pain from the past. I have seen people, I'll do a separate video on that, but I have seen people, and I dedicated the book to Whitney Houston and Deb Ferran. Deb Ferran, I will do a separate video on her a little later on and tell you about her and her life. But Deb is really the one that led me to writing the book, Whose Apple Is It Anyway? I just could not take another time of seeing somebody in the church every time the doors open, and Deb still went out of here on drugs in the streets. She died like that. Okay? There are a lot of people that are being blamed. The victims are being blamed. So in other words, if you're still struggling with drug addiction, alcohol, if you're still struggling with whatever mindsets are holding you back, then it's all your fault because you're not having enough faith. Please, no thank you. Don't give me any more blame the victim, okay? Because the truth of the matter is it's sound behavioral science and it's the spiritual aspect. The two work together. Your life is not predestined to be hell on wheels and hurt and pain and abuse. God ain't that way. And he didn't predestine that in your life. Always remember, there's always free will that can send you down the path of purpose or away from the path of purpose. And when we're traumatized, it's designed to take us away from our path of purpose. And I'm here to make sure that we find our way back onto that path and that we fulfill our destinies as we were meant to. Anyway, I'm Dr. Linda F. Williams. Always remember, your greatest power is realized in the truth of who you are. Know that truth. If you like the content here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, like the video and share it with anyone else that you think could use some empowerment. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time.